Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Bacon and today I will be looking at the A2D Skyshark, a brand new American Tier 4 Premium at a BR of 6.7. Now first off, this aircraft is powered by a contra-rotating propeller which is driven by a turboprop system. Where did we see this last? Well, on the Westland Wyvern, of course, of which has been the only turboprop aircraft in the game all the way up until now with the addition of the A2D, so it is nice to see another turboprop. Now this aircraft does also have radar, which is mounted inside the spinner of the front propeller and has a maximum range of 92 kilometers, and also the availability to lock and give a lead indicator on enemy aircraft within a range of 1 kilometer, which, you know, in games where it's either cloudy or nighttime conditions can mean all the difference, where it is quite difficult to actually see what direction or what sort of heading the enemy aircraft that you're intercepting is going in. The lead indicator should help you out there to get a rough idea of what it is doing. Now, of course, being an attack aircraft, you would expect a large amount of secondary payloads to complement its 4 20mm cannons, and it does not disappoint. Not only do you have bombs, which will range from 250 pound all the way up to 2,000 pounders, but you will also have 20 HVAR rockets, of which are mounted on underwing pylons, and also a dual torpedo loadout, where you have 2 torpedoes, 1 under each wing, of which can be dropped individually, which will of course increase the flexibility of the aircraft while you are operating it. You can drop 1 torpedo for one target and 1 for the other. If they dropped at the same time, you know, it wouldn't really be much use, would it? Finally, the camouflage. Of course, it does come with the base silver bare metal camouflage, but if you want to spend another 200 golden eagles, you will be able to get the blue naval camouflage, which is historical, so just a nice little thing there. It is nice that Gaijin, of course, recently have been adding a lot of secondary camos for new aircraft, so it is a nice little touch there. So with that all said, let's go get into some gameplay for the aeroplane. Mostly we're going to be focusing on air RB. I did do one game in ground RB, of which we will look at a bit later in the video. But for now, we're going to look at air RB. One game is pure anti-aircraft, aircraft-to-aircraft combat. The other 2 games, I do ground pounding. First game, got some Torps going for some light cruisers. Second game, HVAR Rockets going for some light pillboxes, and then going off and killing some aircraft. So with that said, let's go take a look. Okay, so first game, we're starting off with our dual torpedo loadout. We drop the first torp towards a destroyer, then we reposition, drop the second torp, and then it's just really a case of getting out of there, because obviously there's a lot of anti-aircraft fire. I don't want to die. First torp impacts, giving me my first destroyer kill. Shortly after, the second torp then impacts its target, giving me the second kill, and there we go. Both destroyers taken down, a good amount of points for the start of the game. We now find a 262, a U4, the Narwhal variant, with the big 50mm cannon in the nose. Not really so scary though. Now he was initially starting to pull away, but then he made a turn, and that gave me a perfect opportunity to shoot him. Really just one burst, clipped his wing, and that was bye-bye Narwhal. After that, I then headed towards the enemy bases. There was a friendly bomber who was in need of help, and by the time I got there, he was dead. Now I'm left with 2 enemy fighters on me. What do? Well, luckily, the Heinkel 162 makes a dumb decision, basically exposing himself to my guns. I kill him, and then after that, I look behind me and realize, oh god, that's a G56 on my tail. What to do? Well, this aircraft is heavy, and it's powerful. Really just go into a dive, accelerate, pull away, and eventually you're going to be out of gun range, and as long as you keep making small little movements, it should be tricky for them to predict where you're going to be next. So, you know, look, I've just pulled away from him completely, and shortly after, friendly fighters came in, he was distracted. Perfect opportunity to demonstrate a boom and zoom attack. Here's the friendly fighters, both of them going in on him. He's just there. There's 3 friendly fighters all going for this dude, and he's focusing on them. He doesn't want to die. He's looking at the friendly fighters saying, oh, I don't want them shooting at me. There's another one firing at him. He's making turns, which does give me a chance to go in on him, and yeah, back of his aircraft goes. 3rd kill for me, certainly going quite well. Now coming up is a situation where the speed of this aircraft is incredibly essential. Killing an enemy on the airfield. Well, I'm not just killing them on the ground, mostly because, you know, this Arado had been sitting on the airfield for 10 minutes straight, and he was the last enemy. Eventually, you just got to do it. So I go in, kill him on the airfield, and then I remember, yes, lots of AA guns. Of course, in War Thunder, the AA guns are effectively laser-guided beams of death. So I decide just to keep the speed on and try and get over this hill to the side to put a solid object in between me and the guns. At least if the guns are behaving, they will not shoot through solid objects. Although, you know, from time to time, they do tend to misbehave and will fire straight through a hill or some kind of solid object. But there we go. 2 naval targets destroyed and 4 enemy aircraft. Now this game starts off by using the HVAR Rockets, take out all 20 of them, and we're going to go for some pillboxes. I missed the first shot, and now we have an open row. So I fire the first one, boom. Second one, fire, bang, dead. Next one, bang, another one, dead. Now I continue to move along. I am going quite fast. The missiles, or the rockets more specifically, do not actually degrade the speed all that much of the aircraft. There's another one, there's another one, there's another one, and there's another one. So as you can see, they can be used pretty effectively, and that did give me a nice amount of points. Now unfortunately, after coming out of that roll, I wasn't best positioned to fire, and now I only have a single burst, a single firing of rockets remaining. So I decided to go for a nice open target. There it is, the final pillbox, and fire. Boom, there we go. Another pillbox taken down. Good stuff. Now after that, I decided to go back to the carrier to try and rearm, and behind me is a Ho 229. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I begin to turn, and boom, my wing's gone, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is probably the end. Not really much I can do, you know, I probably can't land now. I'm missing most of my wing. What to do? Well, I decide, you know what, I'm still kind of flying. Obviously, I'm not fully flying. I can't exactly easily dogfight or turn with this thing, but I can try and kill some stuff, and surprisingly, it actually goes well. So obviously his 262, he's coming in on me. He sees that I'm missing my wing. He thinks, ah, it's an easy kill. I can easily kill this guy. Don't think so fast, Mr. 262. Not today. Now he does a gun run on me, completely misses, and then he decides to slowly cruise past me. And I just say, ha, lol, no. He's damaged now, and he begins to pull up, and then, oof, second shot. So, you know, just because an aircraft is crippled, don't fly in front of him. And this Arado here, I think he was probably AFK, because he, at least from this distance, I doubt he could tell I was missing my wing, unless it was a B. It was a B. He can't do anything, he knows he's dead, and boom, there we go. So 2 kills while missing the wing, and a bunch of ground target kills. Good stuff there, GG. So next up we have an ace game. Now this was actually the last game I did in this aircraft before making the video, and I was certainly fairly happy with it, considering that this game also was a full up tier. So here is an F-80A, first burst misses, second burst gets sort of a glancing hit, third burst, yeah, gets a direct hit, seems to get a critical, and shortly after, you know, he dies, I get the kill. So either he J'd out, or he had some serious damage to his aeroplane. Once that happens, you know, got the kill, head over to where majority of the enemy are over there. First off, we have a P-51H. Yeah, I had some ping issues, but other than that, it went well. He sort of leveled out. I got a clean hit the back of the aircraft, whole back just disintegrates off. Then we have an F-84, low level, low speed. It's free real estate, basically. Thank you for the double kill, everyone. And that was that. And then once I had done that, I went for a guy on the airfield. This time, it wasn't someone who had been sitting there for ages, to be fair. It was more just, I was in the area, I might as well have killed him. And there he is. As I'm pulling around, I basically just get a single hit, which sets him on fire, rips his wing off, bye-bye. And then I begin to run away, of course. This thing's top speed, very useful for getting quickly behind solid objects to outrun the AA. And then on the minimap I noticed, oh, we have an aeroplane behind us, there's a MiG-9. I tried to pull up, but then I realized, yeah, he's coming towards me. I do not want that 37mm going into my aircraft, especially with my lovely Golden Eagle paint scheme. I don't want anyone damaging that. And, you know, there are some very close points to him almost getting me. And you know what? If he continued to turn there, he probably could have got me. But instead, he turned off, allowing me to get on his 6, which probably isn't a very good decision. But you know, he then begins to turn in again, which does give me a chance to fire at him. Unfortunately, I kind of just goof up all the shots, don't actually get a hit, which is rather annoying. But then he begins to get to lower level. I'm getting shot at by AA, so I need to get out of there. Get a single hit, continue to fire. He is being rather risky, and I sort of kill him just before he hits the ground. And that's bye-bye MiG-9. 5th kill in the game. Good stuff there. Of course, after that, the game did continue for, in fact, another 15 minutes. Why did this happen? Well, you know, there was a B-29 in space who flew around, continued to climb for 15 minutes straight, and then rather than doing anything, he J'd out of his aircraft and just left the game. So, if you're listening, GG, Mr. B-29. Anyway though, with that said, let's go get into our final game of the video, looking at some quick gameplay from ground RB battles. So I start off at fairly high altitude, begin to dive in towards the battlefield, scanning, looking for an enemy to shoot at, and I then spot an enemy tank. So I get the rockets lined up, fire them a single batch, and that's all it takes. A single hit to the Ru-251, gives him hull break, he is dead. First kill for me there. Shortly after, I begin to head out after another attack run, and I spot an aircraft. What is it? Well, by the looks of it, it's another narwhal, like we saw in our first Air RB game. So I go in, fire, and yeah, I knock his elevator off, so I don't think he's going to survive that. What happens after that is he continues to glide in towards the battlefield in a straight line, then slams into the ground and explodes. So, you know, sorry Mr. Narwhal, apologies for constantly killing you. Now once that happens, I do a few more sort of passes over the battlefield at fairly low altitude. Probably not the safest thing to do, even though there's not really radar guided SPAA, even though there's not SPAA with radars at this BR, there are still SPAA. So you need to be careful. But then I do spot something. It looks to be a tank destroyer, more specifically a Jagdpanther. So I do fire a pair of rockets, kind of misses. So then I'm like, meh, I'll just drop the 2,000 pound bombs, 2 of them. Yeah, even though they land a fair distance from him, they obliterate every single module on the tank. I don't think his crew's walking away from that one. After that, there's an enemy capturing the C point. I look at that initially, but then I spot something else moving. Kind of tricky to see, but it's a little PT-76. So I fire a batch of rockets, and yeah, even though it misses him, the explosion hull breaks his vehicle. I then get shot down by an enemy SPA. Looks to be a Kugelblitz. My elevator's gone, my entire tailplane's gone. I spin, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to walk away from that one. Bye-bye. Okay, so hopefully this video has helped you decide whether or not you would like to look into getting this airplane, and I will say there are some negatives to it. First off, for the most part, things you face, mostly the Horton 229s and the R2Y2s. The R2Y2s, not much you can really do against them. They are very tricky, unless of course you have multiple teammates by your side, in which case you can sort of just attack him from multiple angles. He won't be able to fight back. Horton 229s, on the other hand, you know, if you go near your top speed, the Horton's maneuverability at higher speeds is degraded quite significantly. You can use that situation to your advantage. On the other hand, you can do a head-on. The Horton does have a very thin profile, so it is difficult to hit in a head-on, but your guns, the T-31 20mm cannons, have much higher muzzle velocity than the 30mm on the Horton, so you could use that to your advantage, as you can see in the background now. But they're really the main issues. Other than that, it's not maneuverable that much. It's not a turn fighter by any means. It is fairly quick, although in an up tier the speed isn't really an advantage considering you're going to be fighting jets. Now the aircraft is good. You're going to earn a lot of RP, a lot of SL in air games. As I said, I didn't use it much in ground, although I would like to use it at least a bit more in the future. So for the time being, I've added it to my American 6-7 lineup for ground RB. Anyway though, I think I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully that's all the information you guys wanted. If you want to know anything else really, just hit me up in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions about the aircraft. Thank you very much for watching though. If you did enjoy, please feel free to smash the like button, maybe even subscribe to the channel. If you do, that would be massively appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.